because among the middleman minorities, of which the Jews are most prominent, the hostility of these people in countries around the world is out of all proportion to that, to any other kind of group I can think of. In terms of violence, the number of Chinese killed, let's say, in 1 year, and by mob action, exceeds all the blacks lynched in the entire history of the United States. And the number of Armenians killed in Turkey, during the First World War, is greater than that. And of course, the number of Jews slaughtered on a number of occasions in history, even before the Holocaust, is greater than that. So that the question is, why this particular kind of people are the targets of so much venomous hatred?
So last week on Twitter's or X, can we all just collectively agree that we're never actually going to call X, and we're always going to continue to call it Twitter? But nice try, Elon, nice try. So anyway, last week on Twitter, there was a tag trending about how Maldives is yet another country who's decided to ban anyone from Israel from entering that country. If you don't know what Maldives is or where Maldives is, it's sort of in Southeast Asia area. It is pitched to Westerners as this luxury island. I'm pretty sure you've seen the drone shots and the Gatorade color oceans, right? But just like most of the surrounding countries, Maldives is a developing country, and I'm pretty sure has beautiful local areas, but it definitely doesn't reflect the luxury that is peddled to the public by tourist agencies and stuff like that. Maldives is also a majority Muslim country, and a lot of their laws and policies is dictated by their religion, like Sharia law. And so for the most part, especially females are kind of allocated to a very tiny corner of Maldives. But Maldives is not the only country that has banned Israel from entering, or anybody with an Israeli passport. It's funny to me how, like, America could do a temporary ban on some Muslim countries, and everybody screams in outrage about it being Islamophobic, especially from the left progressives. But multiple countries can ban anybody with an Israeli passport or from Israel from entering, and not a peep. No one says absolutely anything. And these bans were in place well before October 7th, so you can't use that as an excuse. And for the most part, if not all of the countries that have banned Israel are mostly Muslim countries, which is another hypocrisy I don't understand, where there are plentiful, multiple Muslim countries, or mostly Muslim countries that's ran by Muslim ideology and Muslim religion and the Quran. Muslim countries, Muslims having their own land, their own country, their own beliefs, their own ideology, their own religion, and their own country, right? And no one bats an eye, not a word, not a peep. But Israel has one country, uno, and everyone screams, oh my God, this is Zionism, which Zionist just means that you believe that Israel has a right to have their own country and their own land and their own freedom and stuff like that. But of course, leave it to the left to turn something that was supposed to be kind of just wholesome and make it into something ugly, like the American flag or something like that. I decided that I will, maybe if you guys didn't know, I've known this because I travel quite a bit. If you don't know, I've been traveling and living abroad for almost 9 years, and I've run into plenty of amazing people from Israel, and they've kind of educated me and let me know that there's a lot of places they're not allowed to enter. Like I would mention Bali. You know about Bali. I'm pretty sure you heard of Bali, of course, from all the travel influencers on Instagram, travel flexing with their cute little bikini bottoms at a waterfall. Bali, they're not allowed to go. Israelis are not allowed to enter Bali because Bali is a mostly Muslim country. Well, Bali is actually within Indonesia, and Indonesia is a mostly Muslim country. Bali itself is actually mostly Hindu, but because Bali is in Indonesia, mostly Muslim, Israelis are not allowed to enter Bali. And again, this is long before October 7th. This has been in place for generations now. All right, let's go through them. So first is Algeria, Bangladesh, Brunei, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Malaysia, Oman, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Syria, the United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. And now the Maldives. Now we're going to list the countries that don't even recognize Israel as their own country, have something in common with Taiwan. But anyway, and some of these are after October 7th, some of these are long before October 7th. So Afghanistan, Indonesia, Maldives, Qatar, Algeria, Iran, Mali, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Iraq, Martinique, I don't think I said that right, I'll put it on the screen, Somalia, Brunei, Kuwait, Nigeria, Syria, Comoros, Lebanon, North Korea, Tunisia, don't think I'm saying that right as well, Cuba, Libya, India, Oman, Venezuela, Malaysia, Pakistan, and Yemen. 28 countries do not recognize. So there you go. Those are other countries that do not recognize Israel as their own country or their own land, and also countries who have straight out banned Israel from traveling to it. I don't remember if I mentioned Indonesia, but once again, Indonesia, where Bali is. And again, some of these were long before October 7th. And it's fine. I think every country should be allowed to say like who they want in or who they want out. I just find it really hypocritical if one country even peeps the word of banning anybody from Muslim countries or African countries or Asian countries. It's all this phobia is thrown around. But when other countries ban Israel and have done so for decades now, no one seems to care and no one seems to say a peep. And I guess I will assume it's because those countries brown and people just assume all Israelis are white. And again, I think it's hypocritical that everybody's completely fine with their Muslims having their own country, their own land, their own language, their own religion, their own ideology that is protected, but Israel does not have a right to have that. Matter of fact, the river to the sea, get rid of Israel. So they have no home country, no homeland whatsoever. For me, it comes down to the root of it all, that there's always been animosity, resentment, and hate towards Israel and Jewish people. Has always existed.
You have a chapter, that's the first chapter is black rednecks and white liberals. The second chapter is, are Jews generic?
Middleman minorities, of which the Jews are the most prominent. The hostility of these people in countries around the world is out of all proportion to any other kind of group I can think of. In terms of violence, the number of Chinese killed, let's say, in 1 year, and by mob action, exceeds all the blacks lynched in the entire history of the United States. And the number of Armenians killed in Turkey, during the First World War, is greater than that. And of course, the number of Jews slaughtered on a number of occasions in history, even before the Holocaust, is greater than that. So that the question is, why this particular kind of people are the targets of so much venomous hatred? And I think the answer is that they not only succeed, they succeed in a way which is the threat to the egos of other people.
It's not a coincidence that the rise of people being anti-Semitic came out of nowhere. It's not like, oh my God, October 7th, and all of a sudden people just found this hate towards Israel and Jewish people with this anti-Semitic rants and literally Hitler propaganda going around on the amazing degenerate platform we called X, which is formerly known as Twitter. It's no surprise that it's there. It's always been there. It's always been bubbling beneath the surface and kind of cast to the dark corners of the internet. But I think now people feel brazen to be upfront with their hate towards it, because now they can hide behind the October 7th thing of the reason why they hate or the reason why they think Israel shouldn't exist, from the river to the sea. So that's a quick little video. I just wanted to educate you guys on that. It's surprising to me that everyone thinks like Israel has so much power. Oh my God, they're like the evil cabal of the world and they're ruling the world and running the world, where if they're running the world, why are so many countries banning them? Wouldn't they have the power to get themselves unbanned? Wouldn't they have more a reach of power if they were so almighty powerful? Or wouldn't they have the power to get countries to recognize them? Like, it's just crazy to me how they have so much power, but like they're literally countries they're not allowed to go to. Americans can pretty much go to almost every country except countries that we just recently went into war with. It would seem like America has more power than Israel does. I'm just saying. That's it, guys. That's all I wanted to say. I know I'm making lots of videos about this. Again, it's been on my chest, and the reason why I'm making so many videos about these things, because I've held it in for a long time. I've held it in since October 7th of just like, I'm not going to say anything because I'm hoping this will resolve itself, and I know people are going to get sick of hearing about it. I know YouTube's algorithm doesn't like these videos, but I'm just not going to hold it in anymore. I think that the outrage and the hate towards Israel and Jewish people and the Jewish community is really, really sad, and I don't like seeing it, and I'm not going to stay silent about it anymore. I don't want to be a part of the silent majority anymore. So I'm sorry if you guys are sick of hearing these videos. I'm going to make a few more before it's all said and done. Anyway, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can. You can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the comment section down below. Or you can super thanks. And you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.
The hostility of these people in countries around the world is out of all proportion to any other kind of group I can think of.